Hello and welcome to Mike's Garage. We're getting there. We're getting this Evo motor back together. In our last video, we set the flywheels into the left case. And now we're going to glue the right case on. So everything is clean and ready to go. And what I want to do is put a little assembly lube on this pinion bearing. And we're just going to take it nice and easy and have a nice time. I don't feel like rushing. It is almost the end of August and it is so warm. I don't really want to complain. Life is good. But there's the pinion bearing all lubed up. And I might just put a little on the race too. I've got so much time in that bearing race, installing it and getting it sized perfectly and all that fun stuff. All right. Now that we've got that bearing all fresh and ready and lubed and everything here is really clean, I think we're gonna put some glue on it. This is a sealant that's used for sealing the cases. Since we have what we'd call a tongue and groove setup here, and if you remember back a couple videos ago, we lapped the cases together so they're a nice match and they'll seal well. According to the directions of this particular sealant, should use a brush or something similar, and I think a cotton swab would be nice. And we're going to put this on here. We'll get it on both sides. And the thing is, the way this thing is built, with this beautiful machined lip all the way around, again, similar to tongue and groove, it means we aren't going to get any sealant over the edge and inside the motor, or engine if you prefer. So we're getting a nice thin coat of this on here. You'd think I'd use a brush, but nah, it'd be too easy. And we'll get it all on here. And I keep talking because I'm running out of things to say. But this is going to be a nice running motor for my buddy Bobby. And when we're doing things like this on an Evo motor, the thing to remember is, as far as these bearings and all this are concerned, and as far as putting the cases together, it's the same on older models. You know, the Timken bearings on the left side, they came into being for the 1955 model, and been using basically the same setup ever since, right on up through the Evolution motors. And got to the twin cams, then they tried something different, and so we'll just be sure and make note of that. And get this thing all glued together and bolted together, then we can think about putting the cam chest together, which is going to be about the same as putting the shovel head case together when we did that. We put the oil pump and all the gears in that shovel head motor. It was the same as doing an Evo, basically. I mean, you know, from year to year you find little changes you always have to check. That's one of the reasons I recommend having a service manual and a parts manual, so that you don't mess yourself up. Okay, so that's one side. Oh, I got to get right up here on this little point. Ready for that? I think the cameraman just reminded me of that. Okay, so we'll start by getting that little point here. Now I can't forget it. Or no, now I can forget it. It's done. Okay. And we're just going around the case, getting it done. And we're not far from done here. And pretty soon we'll have a whole lower end buttoned up and ready to go. But kind of funny, the way Harley prefers this is done is you put it together, you torque it to 10 pounds, and then after you mount the top end on the motor, then you do your final torque on the cases. Interesting. That's something that started with the aluminum cylinders. I'm going to throw this Q-tip away, and I think I deserve a fresh one. Okay. And there it goes. As soon as we get all the way around this thing, we can put it together, which is pretty exciting. Now, before we started here, whether anyone realized it or not, I spent quite a bit of time cleaning everything, making sure it was ready, dry, and ready to be put together. And it sure enough is. Oh, I didn't want that to happen. For reals, we're done almost. And the best paint job I've done all day. And there we have it. All done all the way around. And we'll waste about a minute here. And as soon as we waste that minute, I think we have all that all the way around. Then we can put that case on there. I think that's about a long enough minute for me. I'm going to put that case on there and button her up. And there she is. All right, now let's put some alignment studs in. Now these two studs are your alignment studs. We're going to tap them in place. Tap, tap. And this one here is the center stud. And there she is. All right, I'll start using my new rawhide mallet. This one's getting pretty beat up. Okay. Now, once we get these on, I think we can put the nuts on them. Now I'm feeling like I'm really building a motor. This is getting exciting. I think, personally, that we need to understand that this is like being a small child. This is fun. There we go. Okay. Once those three are in, then everything is pretty well located. And everything else should follow suit and be just fine. Now, let's see. We have a long one going in over here. But it's not an alignment stud. The alignment studs are fatter, and they pretty much press into these holes. Let me get that nut started. And there's that one. That's pretty exciting. All right. Now I think what we're going to need to do is set this motor up so we can get the rest of them in place. Now I've got it sitting on some blocks of wood here. And now I don't. But there we are. We'll get these nuts and washers on here. Nut and washer. And let's see, if we were turned like that, then we've got all three. 4 of these are the same sizes. So we can go like that. Like that. Now all of the threads have been cleaned on the bolts, on the holes, everything. Now, a lot of this is paint that I didn't get off the heads of these bolts. This whole motor was painted black. And it was peeling and doing all sorts of strange things. So I just did away with it, stripped it all. Where'd that son of a gun go? I think we got them all and I got an extra one. How did I do that? How did I do that? Well, there it is. How about it goes right there? Thank you very much. By the way, when you're doing a video, I might add this, it's not the same as just working in your shop. If there is a goofy thing you can possibly do, it will happen in a video, and probably with a whole lot of people watching. So, anyway, that's how that is. Okay, now what I did is something I wanted to show off here a little bit. This is my music stand. I've been using a music stand for years and years. When you want to look at something in the book and you can't keep the pages open and all that, if you have a music stand, every secondhand store has music stands. You can put the book right there, open to the page, and here is the tightening sequence, the torquing sequence for this motor case. There's 1, 2. There we go. Well, I have new glasses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's the torquing sequence I'm going to use. I don't think everyone needs to see me do that, but that's what I'm going to do here in a few minutes. So, this thing is going back together, and I'm very pleased about it. I just want to add, if you're enjoying our videos, please subscribe, and we'll be getting further done with this motor here pretty soon. So, until then, see you out on the road.